it!
Hey there everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris Orme, and today we're looking at part 2 of our series on Football Manager 2020, our academy process here. We're going to be looking at training, and a part of that as well, I feel, is a development center, which is a new part of FM20. So I thought I'd take a look at what I use and why within this. So let's jump straight in. Last time we looked at tactics, so at this stage we've got our tactic built. We like how we attack and defend, the transitions. We know what kind of players now we need to look for. We know how we're going to be setting everything up on that side of things. So the next step will be training the players we already have to play in those tactics and basically make sure they fit. And if they don't, we'll get onto that with the signings video later on. But the development center will give you your youngsters. And you can see here, you got a little bit of progress, and it'll say a little bit about each player. Give you your best youngsters down here. And you can see these little progress graphs, and you can see this goalkeeper has made some pretty big jumps. Now, that being said, he's still only 2-star ability, which is only half a star more than where he was. So January to February made the leap up to 2-star. And then he's stuck there ever since. And he's had some big jumps. And they tailed off towards the end of the season. And now it's back into the start of the preseason and the start of the regular season, slowly improving. He's a very, very talented player for the future. And I want to make sure that he keeps developing. So I can keep an eye here and say, okay, this bunch of players, they're doing okay. Jean de Boer had like some bad injuries and stuff, and he dived right down. And then it's taken him a while to come back to fully being able to almost be back to where he is. But he's not. 7 months, he's still below where he was. And that's slightly worrying. But I can see maybe I need to make some changes here for training. And this is why the development center is so good. You got players out on loan, it'll list them here. It'll suggest players to loan out down here. And also give you their progress bars and everything else. So yeah, for this, we're going to look at my under-19s training screen here. And again, you can see my training ratings are here. Some players aren't playing great, or training great, sorry. Some are doing quite well. The progress bars as a whole will show you that, yeah, even though it's the start of the season, a couple of people have made a couple of jumps. Hans-Peter Foster's actually made a huge jump. You can see where we're training them, and I will be setting up my youth team. I haven't done that yet, to train the positions they're going to be playing, like we did for the first team in the last video. We looked at that, but yeah. There's a little bit of work still to be done on this one. There are a little bit of work still to be done. But you can see we've got a lot of young players. But we've got a lot of good young players. Not all of them are going to be world beaters. In fact, most of them aren't. Most of them will never play for this club, but they're set up quite well. So, okay then, let's jump in to the actual training and see how things look. So, this is your first screen. It'll give you a little bit of the calendar about what you're training for that week, and it'll highlight the games you've got. We've got Bayer Leverkusen coming up here. You can see that training is okay here. Medical center doesn't look like anyone's too bad in terms of maybe getting injured. And it's basically match sharpness and fitness, because we haven't really been playing any preseason friendlies. We actually played 3 this season. So But you can see here, you can just praise these guys who are playing well. You can dive in where you want. The main one for me is going to be this. This is what I really want to teach you today that a lot of people don't take advantage of again. And that's the calendar screen. So you can see we are in this week. We are about to play. There's today, highlighted in a nice teal blue color. We know we got Bayer 04 Leverkusen. They are up next. We've done our week's training. We're now here. But as you can see, this might look a little bit different to yours. And it might look a lot more full than yours. It certainly is a lot more full than most people's I've seen. A lot more people will have this kind of training schedule where they just let their assistant do it, or a coach do it, or whatever they want to set it up with. That's fine. Now, I start there, and then I dive in. Any rest that I can change, I will normally change to something else. So let me go through what I'm going to change it to first. So team bonding, we've already got one. As you can see, it'll increase your teamwork attributes. So the player's teamwork will go up. The actual teamwork in a game will go up. Those are both important. Slightly reduced condition, but as you can see, we've basically got 0 intensity for those at all. Fatigue is greatly reduced. Sharpness a little bit, but injuries go way down as well. So you can just hover over this bar and it will break it down for you. But happiness through the roof. Condition isn't affected, and we're getting all these benefits. The one I really, really like is team cohesion. So team cohesion is how together a team is. Now, when you're taking over a new team, you might want to get them on side, so you're looking at happiness. Works really well. If you're trying to assemble your own team, or you make a lot of changes year to year, like I've been doing, team cohesion's then needed to integrate those new players and to get everybody on the same page. That's going to be big. You can have the best tactics in the world, but if the team isn't cohesive, they're going to be a bunch of individuals that are not going to do what they're supposed to do. And that's going to cause you problems. So team cohesion is huge. Absolutely huge. So that's team bonding. If we dive back in here to this rest, look at the rest. Community outreach. Again, it's got little impact. Did you see how much that went up there? We're at that much intensity right now. We add in another training session and it's tiny. It makes little to no difference. The match days are always going to be, full intensity. It's the only thing you do, but it's going to be full intensity. Got one other half intensive day. This is just an easy week. But we're traveling back from one game, and then we got to play Bayern Munich at home in another game, and then we're in the whole thing. We got some recoveries. I'm actually going to be probably taking I'm probably going to be taking this one out, to be fair. I don't think I need that if I've got that there, and I'm not going to put anything else in, because that's actually bringing down the intensity of the day, and I don't want intensive days where I can. So this is the idea behind it. So community outreach is good. Physicals, just watch that bar go up and stay up. Recovery brings it all the way down. Rest brings it all the way down. But the other ones are really, really intensive. And what you gain, a bit of fitness, stamina, physicals, yeah, I'm okay. I don't need to go crazy on that. Set pieces, attacking free kicks, corners, defending free kicks, corners, taking penalties, and delivery of set pieces. These are all situational. But delivery set pieces, the set piece takers are going to be learning how to take the set pieces better. Everybody else is going to be looking at how they defend the set pieces. And the goalkeepers are going to be doing goalkeeper stuff. It's a lovely catch-all set piece. Put one of those in every week or every 2 or 3 weeks. You'll find that it gets a bit better as you go on. You're not only going to be defending them really well, but you're going to be putting the ball into dangerous areas. So you don't really need to set up to figure out how to head the ball or finish a chance. Your strikers should be doing that anyway. Set pieces are going to be good for you. Goalkeeper, if you really want to train them individually, you can. Again, I really don't. I don't think that I need to. If there's a weakness somewhere, you can always train it there. That's fine. Or you can set up the player to individually get it, which we'll look at a little bit later on. Shadow plays are quite good. Slight team cohesion. Increase tactical familiarity if you're changing your tactics. Then, or bringing new players into your tactic. That can also help. So, again, situational, but I think there's some things that kind of do that better than these two, but they're not bad. And again, they're not really that intensive. Technicals. Chance conversion, chance creation, ball distribution, transition press, transition restrict, ball retention, play from the back. They're all kind of good, I guess. They all work on some lovely attributes that I really do like. But again, I'd rather train those individually. I ignore that. Defending, attacking, pretty much ignore that because, again, I can do generic stuff with all this, and I just think there's better ways of doing it. So, we've got one set piece. We've got these two extracurriculars, which are, very, very light. General, your system will throw some of these in, and that's where I want to do the individual attack, defense, goalkeeping, technicals. Match preparation, oh boy, is this fun. Match tactics, decisions and teamworks, tactical familiarity, amazing. Team cohesion is increased. Not intensive. Teamwork, so much fun stuff. Greatly increased team cohesion. Love that. Defensive shape, again, increases team cohesion, increases tactical familiarity. Everybody does their things. Everybody also improves their attributes for their roles. So we haven't been teaching the strikers how to head or shoot, and the midfielders how to pass, or get better vision, or training the physicals of players in roles that need physicals. No, because this will do it. This will train their individual roles and their tactical familiarity and their team cohesion. Only a slight knock-on condition. Plus, it gives you a bonus for the upcoming matches. This category is just fantastic. Now, match practice, I'm not as big a fan of. I'm really not as big a fan of. What I'm actually going to do there is, make sure that's not in there at all. We would go with the teamwork. We've got attacking. Yeah, I'm probably going to put community outreach in there and another teamwork probably. So we're not doubling up on that. So we've got a bit of everything, but so much blue, absolutely fantastic. And then I'm probably, if anywhere, I'm going to throw match practice. No, that's the day after a game. I can't do that. I cannot do that. I'm going to go match tactics there. So match tactics and a match review. Those are probably the wrong way around. Review the match you just played. Why do we like the review? Because there's no downside to it. There's no red areas. You just gain stuff. So all these are really, really good. We're also doing some shadow play while we're in there, which does help, I guess. But again, this match preparation category is phenomenal. Day after a game, recover if you can. and then do a match review. If you only got 2 slots, do them in there. The reason I'm not here is because this is quite an intensive day otherwise. Although if that then becomes recovery, like it should be, and then that becomes another teamwork, and then that becomes what? I don't know. That becomes match tactics, and that becomes community outreach. There we go. So we're actually recovering after a game. And again, it's just the way Rome that I'd prefer it. You do your recovery session. You travel, you come back for recovery, sort of a warm down session, ice baths, all that kind of thing. And then you review the match. Then you go into the room and watch the tape and the footage. And nice, relaxing. So it's a pretty intensive week in terms of what we're there to do. It's not intensive as in tiring out the players. But oh my God, the amount of happiness we're getting, the amount of tactical familiarity we're getting, the amount of team cohesion we are getting, it's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And we can still throw in the odd session here and there, which are real sessions. And actually, I'm going to put in that set piece in there. A tiny bit extra up, but yeah. Now, I do have my assistant doing my training. So any changes I make, I let him control everything, but yes, only this once. So that's how I've edited one that only had like a space. This is entirely my assistant's training. And again, being early on in the season or pre-season, there's a lot of physical stuff in here. So let's take a look at this week and break it down how I actually want to set this up. So I can add something intensive to that day, a little bit intensive there, and up here. I can probably switch out that recovery, which means that's going to be a match practice. If I put that in as a rest, because match practices take up a lot. So that's going to be my intensive day. It also means I don't need to recover there anymore. This is really full. We're just going to put in a team bonding. It doesn't knock it up by much. It gives me some good stuff back. More than happy to do that. More than happy to put a community outreach in there. We got 3 half-intensive days and we got 3 really quiet days. Again, if we want to drop stuff in, we can. I'm probably going to put the set pieces in there. And then we will train defensive shape, attacking movement, defensive shape, attacking movement. Going to put teamwork in there. Another teamwork in there. I don't know what's after this day. I don't know what's on the Monday. Doesn't look like much. We got a game here. So this is a free week, basically. Yeah, that's a free period. So we can go back in here. We've done our extracurriculars. I'm going to throw in another set piece. I'm going to work on set pieces twice. So that week, if we dive back in now, that week isn't that intensive. We've got a couple of, 50%. We've got a couple of like 60 or 70%. And then we got some low days in there. We're not overworking our players. I don't think that we're overworking our players at all. They might get a little bit tired through it, but again, there's no matches that week, so we should be okay. And we do have a recovery session lined up as well, which should probably be the last thing we do. So let me swap those around. There we go. A little bit of logic applied to it. And then we got this game against FC Com. We're recovering. We're going to do a match review. We've got the match preview. And then we are going to set up for set pieces. That's going to be team bonding because it doesn't increase much. Then attacking, movement, defensive, ship. Just that quickly, I can put in the ones I like. Attack, defense, match review, set pieces. And for a slightly heavy day, a bit of team bonding. And just like that, I've done another week's training. It doesn't take long to do. Schalke game there. Again, straight away, the day after, recovery, match review. I can put anything I want in here now. Let's put the set pieces up there. After the Werder Bremen game, we're going to do another match review, of course. And that sets us up for attacking movement, defensive ship, and a bit of teamwork. And again, team cohesion, match improvements, tactical familiarity, and our attributes are going up in certain ways. We're not increasing the intensity, we're not overtraining our players, but we are keeping them busy. And that's kind of what I want to do there. So yeah, we didn't really do this week because we had the games on a Sunday, which kind of throw me off a little bit. Set pieces there. Attacking movement there. Defensive ship there. We're going to go nice and easy with a bit of team bonding. Community outreach on the days we've already got decent training. Throw in a teamwork. That week's done. So again, because we're only looking at a certain number of categories, we've pretty much booked this month very, very quickly. Day after a match. Match review. We'll work on some set pieces there. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Misclicks, but it's easy enough to do. And only when you hit confirmed, you have to, actually finish it. And if you make lots of mistakes, click cancel. Go right back in and start over for that week. Actually, I'm going to put a teamwork there and have a really light day. Set pieces the day before. Then we're going to move into our attack, defense strategy. Bit of team bonding. I'm actually going to go teamwork there instead of a community outreach. And yes, only this once. So we've got the entirety now of August and September booked out. You can continue to do that for the rest of the season, but there might be extra games. In the Cup, if we win, we'll have extra games. Champions League, if we do well enough, we might have extra games. So I'm not really going to want to do that too far ahead. But I've done August, I've done September, I'm happy enough there. So we should be all right and set up. Then we go into our units and we set up everybody to train a position like we showed you in the last video. Then we set up mentoring. I basically ask my assistant to assign them. And then if I need to do any changes, I will add people. But not only that, if there are suggestions to add people, I will set that up as well. So you get some weekly input from your backroom staff. And when it says add or start a new group, then I normally do that. So basically, I don't go too crazy with it. And also, the last thing I want to point out is rest. This rest category is set up differently to the way I have it. So if you're 90% or above, instead of being on double intensity, I actually just train them on normal intensity. I think my schedule is pretty hectic, so that's fine. Normal as well for 80 to 90, 70 to 80 will be half intensity because they're still tired. I don't normally start people below 95. and I try and rest people below 90. So I'm really trying to overload the schedule and then rest the individuals where need be. So we're not doing a light schedule, and then the players that aren't playing also aren't training very much. But when it's too much for certain players, we're going to back off on an individual basis with those days rest, again, as we discussed in the last video. So no work under 60%. If they're below 80%, above 60, half intensity. 80 or above, they're training normally. We're not double intensity training. And also coaches, I've got great coaches everywhere. Double up in every category. Make sure everybody is as good as they can be. And try and get as many lights in there as possible. Looks like our tactical possession and our fitness training, average intensity right now for the coaches. Again, it's not too bad, but I would like that lower if possible. And I do go in and try and get as many coaches as possible. I just feel it's the right thing to do. So it can be scary, it can be confusing. There's a lot when you look at it. It's like, wow, okay. And then you click on something and say, okay, wow, there's so many and I need it all. What do I need to do? Extracurricular, when you don't want to train them very hard at all, but you just want a couple of bonuses. Set piece delivery for when you just want to throw something in to help there. And then pretty much almost anything in match preparation. Pretty much almost anything. Match practice is going to be a big jump, so only do that on a very quiet day. But everything else will help you. Day after, make sure you're doing a review. Day before, make sure you're set up for a preview, which again, you should be, because that's whoever you set up to handle your training should have already set that up for you. And if you really want to dive into tactical and put in the shadow play, which can have an effect. So, yeah. And you can just let your assistant choose the other trainings. And so we got 3 overalls and an outfield. Okay. It's not bad. It's not bad, but I mean, I'll probably just get set piece deliveries in that. Just get some deliveries going. Really work on that over the next few weeks. But there we go. August, September, fully booked up. Took me 30 minutes to do while I was explaining it. And yeah, as long as you're sticking to a few categories that you know are going to help you, like I say, you can increase this team cohesion. You can see I'm not full on cohesion just yet. It's difficult to get like that really, really high. But it is improving. That training is going to help us out even more over the next couple of months now. Player positioning is going to be increased. We also can see slight improvements to vision and reactions. Like that right there, just for having a cohesive team, is huge. Morale is excellent. That will be the next video, is about how to build a great morale and how to keep a big morale. And also how to get them to support you. I'll be looking through dynamics as a whole. And yeah, video 4 on its way after that will be staff, players, and your signings, how to do it, why to do it, when to do it. That'll all come in video 5. But we've gone through your tactics. Hopefully, you've got a tactic you know like. With this help, hopefully you'll be able to set up your training to get the most out of your players and to get them playing those tactics in the best way. So, absolutely fantastic. And you can see here, he will come up and say that there's certain things that he's done to change things. And if he does that a lot, just make sure you go back in and like set things up. If he keeps doing it, you can take over it. And he will suggest the day. He will suggest the days. But yeah, like I say, it's really quick, really easy to do, and it will have an impact on your sales. So I hope that will help you guys and gals out there. If not, let me know why. What didn't I explain? What did you want to know more about? Where do you agree with me? Where do you disagree with me? Comment section below, or on Twitter at Chris Orme, or on Twitch, Chris Orme as well. So, hey, that's all I've got for training. It's not super complicated, even though it may look like it. But hey, 30 minutes, done and dusted. I'd like to thank you all for stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff as usual. You know the drill by now. And I'll see you back here next time. Till then, take care.